Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match preview. Everton versus Leicester City. Everton returning to Goodison Park, an empty Goodison Park, to play Leicester City in what is a pivotal game for both teams. But before we start, an important message from Baz.
This video is brought to you in association with OneFootball's app. OneFootball's app is free. It's available to download now. It's excellent. It really is a good app. A pair of us have got it. You get the latest stats. You get the latest transfer rumours, what's going on throughout the world. All the scores in full detail. Stories every day, not just transfer rumours, stories every day from the whole world of football. All available on that app. It is free. Make sure you download it. Another good thing about it is you can have a designated news feed. I've got one on Everton, obviously. Keeps me up to date with all the stories, like when Cuca Martina and Newman Nias left the other day. Lots of rumours and everything all about Everton Football Club. Also does like match previews as well and gives you some stuff about them. So go and download the OneFootball app. It's free. The link is in the description. Go and do it now. There's no reason not to.
There you go. Also keep you up to date with all the live scores. So you
Yeah,
want to ping up. If you can't watch the match for whatever reason, it will keep you up to date. Leicester City, obviously a team we've already faced at home this season in the League Cup. Obviously a 2-2 draw after a disappointing last-minute defeat down at the King Power Stadium. But they're, from their point of view, they're coming into this game without really getting it up to speed yet. They've had a couple of draws in the Premier League, a defeat in the FA Cup by Chelsea, and they haven't really got going yet, I'd say. Certainly from a goal scoring point of view.
Yeah, I've seen the 3 games that they've had. I've seen bits of the Chelsea game, but I've seen the 2 league games that they've had. And they haven't really got going. Play at times, play some good stuff, but just haven't flow, got the flow going. And hopefully they won't either on Wednesday from an Everton point of view. A dangerous side though. They beat us, like you said. They've already beat us twice this season, albeit one on penalties. I think to be honest, we were unlucky in both games really. Certainly down there, I thought we'd done all, considering we were terrible at the time and they were second. We went there and played well for about 70 minutes, and then we were hanging on a little bit at the end. We were, but then obviously the goal in the Acho scored at the last kick of the game, and the linesman had this flag up. You think you've got away with it, and then VAR went on to, as it's done many times to Everton this season, cruelly go against us. But and then in the cup, I thought for about an hour they were the better side really at Goodison, and then Everton finished strongly, and obviously Baines he ends up equalising. But it's a tough game. They're looking to beat Everton 3 times in a row. They're the first time they'll have ever done it in the history. 3 on the run, so big thing for them in one season. So we've got to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, and as I said, it is a pivotal game because obviously they're in 3rd place at the moment. But obviously the chasing pack have pulled them closer. Yeah. Chelsea, obviously, who've just beaten them, are within a win away from them. You've got Wolves, who've been in fantastic form, and then you've got Manchester United, I think 6 points behind them, who have been doing well in the league, and I've got that little bit of momentum, so they'll be looking for it. But what I would say is they've been for goals quite shy, but defensively they've been quite good as well.
And conceded 2.
Conceded 2. The one against Chelsea, obviously Ross Barkley's, and a last minute overhead kick against Watford. So defensively they look all right. Kasper Schmeichel's in good form. But they've been a really, this season they've been obviously I think they won 8 in a row at one point between like October and November, and that really shot them up into the into that top 4. And they are actually one of the teams that I think the lockdown came at the worst possible time. I think they needed that momentum to keep going. I think they're a team who I think they've got the kind of players who thrive on momentum. Just because they're not I think, they're not blessed with, they've got very good players, but they're not blessed with like exceptional talents. They are a real team and a real unit, and I just think that momentum coming to an end.
They had that a little bit of a sticky patch though just before it. Don't forget.
Oh yeah.
But the last game they played was they'd beat Villa 4-0, hadn't they? And they were like, I think they were really good that night. So for them, it what probably did come at the wrong time, and it also allowed other clubs around them to refresh. Like I was listening, thought it was really interesting listening to Villa Wolves at the weekend, and they were talking about Wolves benefiting more than anyone because they've been playing in Europe since July, and they've had this 3-month break, so they've been able to get everyone fresh again. You've got a couple of players who were carrying knocks fit, and they've come back and just picked up, and the momentum's carried them through. And then you look at the likes of Leicester who were flying at that time, and they've got injuries, and Pereira's out injured. Maddison was missing at the weekend. Looks like he's very doubtful, rated as very doubtful for this one. They're hopeful of getting him back at the weekend. Seen Brendan Rodgers saying that. So it is, sometimes that momentum is broken up. I think another club in that has been Sheffield United. They were another team absolutely flying.
Definitely.
Lockdown came at the wrong time for them. So
yeah, I think a lot of that might, I don't know if it does, but it might come from the fact that they are teams that, and it's funny because you're talking about Wolves and what they've gone through, but having that small squad, not having the options, you do just bandy together. And obviously this goes back from when Leicester won the league. It's that idea of the momentum keeps you going. Every game you're playing the same kind of team.
Wolves have played, he basically uses 14 players. They were going through it the weekend. They used the same 14 really for most games. And Leicester, you're right, Leicester a similar thing. When we've seen Everton's most consistent teams, they've been a squad of 13. It's great, this 25-man squad with all great players, but for clubs like us and Leicester and Wolves and teams that haven't got massive budgets like your Cities and your Uniteds, you do need. Liverpool won the league, and if you probably went back and looked at all of it, they used basically the same team. I mean, don't know how, but they used basically the same team every week. So Leicester are that club. They are that side, and you're right, they're like a workman-like side. They have got good players, I'm not being disrespectful. If they work hard is what I mean. But they have the lockdown has knocked them out the stride, and hopefully that's a good thing for Everton from our perspective.
Yeah, and from our perspective, obviously 4 points from the two games, obviously not two very different performances. Obviously the Merseyside derby was a tactically astute performance. Norwich a little bit less so. It was just a case of getting the 3 points, and we got the 3 points. The less we say about the performance,
but I watched
No, I was just
Norwich
about to say,
and Man United at the weekend, and United,
I was just about to say
with
that
better midfield than us struggled against them. And
yeah, they're about to say that they struggled against Manchester, against them as well. So, but so yeah, it'd be Everton will have had a week's rest. Leicester have played, as we said, they played on Sunday. So hopefully that week's rest and a few little. Giving not only rest but sessions on the pitch, tactics again, chance for players to come back. We've seen Yerry Mina training. Not sure whether Delph will be available, but Yerry Mina will be available. So it freshens it up. It helps the tactics, and off the back of this game, we've got 6 games in 18 days. It's an incredible.
It is weird.
It's an incredible run of games that you only really would find over like a Christmas period. So it's really important, I think, that we get off on the right foot, because Leicester at home, then like Spurs, Wolves, Southampton at home is not going to be easy. So we've got a really interesting run coming up, and it's just been nice to start it off in a very positive way, because you look at the league table and you just think, well, okay, we spoke about this last week on the show, but you look at all those other teams, and there's a couple of teams vying for 3rd and 4th now, and you just think, well, underneath that, the likes of Spurs, if it does drop to 8th, with the semi-finals being confirmed for the FA Cup, we know now it's going to be dropping to 7th. Well, depending on Arsenal.
Yeah, but they're in the race for 7th.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, but depending on it does depend on Arsenal. Let me just clarify that. But these are the games, aren't they? Certainly we've got to be we've got to win games like this if we hope to finish in the European places.
Definitely. Everton have seventh or eighth best home record, I think. So these are games you're looking at to win. Yeah, it's a tough game, but we are a good side at home. We've been a good side at home for a number of years. It's our away form, that's awful.
Yeah.
The caveat to that is Leicester have been good away. I think they've had 7 away wins. So it's a dangerous game, of course, as we've seen it before. But, you know, we did the double over them last season. It's not easy to do the double over Leicester at all. And we've got to make sure they don't do it over us this year. But it's a tight game. I think they've won 2 of the last 4 games at Goodison, which is as many as they managed in 20 before that. So, you know, like I just said, we beat them last season at home. So, well, it feels years ago now, but you know, you've got to look at them and think this is a great opportunity to drag ourselves right into that pack of, you know, like you just mentioned, Arsenal, Sheffield United, who we mentioned, have come back and have been poor, you know, results-wise, haven't they? They're struggling a little bit on their results. We've seen Southampton come right close to us now with some great results that they've had. So we've got to really cement ourselves into that pack and show that we can be in the fight there. I think the one thing that you've got to look at with Everton, and it's difficult, it's tough to look at really sometimes when you're right in the midst of it as an Evertonian, is that the progress has been there since Ferguson and then Ancelotti took over. It really is. I mean, Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, only 3 teams who've taken more points off Everton since Ancelotti coming. More points than Everton rather since Ancelotti coming. 3 big sides. We're one of only 3 teams who've took points off Liverpool this season. You know, we've had back-to-back clean sheets. We're on it. We've got a good home record. So there's a lot of work going on in the background. And it's easy when you watch the Norwich game to dismiss that because it wasn't a good performance, but we won the game. And so we have to look and go, right, we're doing things better than what we were doing. And when we do our jobs correctly, we're actually a decent side. We know where we're not the best. We know that the midfield isn't great. But can we cause Leicester problems? 100% we can. Will they cause us problems? I'm sure they will with Vardy, because in Vardy they've got a fantastic striker.
No, don't mention Vardy.
No, but I'm just saying he's got a fantastic striker in that midfield. In Diddy's a fantastic player. The 2 lads at the back, you know, Soyuncu or whatever, however you say his name, has had a really good season for them.
Defensively, they've been
Chilwell's
really
excellent.
good. Chilwell, yeah.
So, a good side.
What I would say now, obviously, right now as we record, we're sitting 12th. But when you look at that pack ahead, Tottenham in 7th place, 45, Sheffield United 44, Arsenal 9th, 43, Crystal Palace, Burnley. It is, you know, that seems to be the pack now, because Man United are on 49. For us, I think that's a little bit too much of a stretch. You know, 8 points ahead of us. So it is really that 7th place now, isn't it? We've got to stay in that pack, no matter what happens. You know, and with that many games now, in such a short time, it can change quickly, and a couple of wins in a row can really knock you up. You know,
we can Wolves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Looking at Wolves, and a couple of games ago, you go, well, you know what? Maybe like they don't win there, and they have a couple of draws there, and we win. Then we're playing them to a big game. Now they look out of sight, so because they've won game after game, and that's what you have to do. We're going into a situation where we've got a couple of tough games. We've got home games that are tricky but are winnable. We just got to demonstrate. There's players in our team that are playing for the future. There's no question about it. People are... Ancelotti's looking at everyone now and going, what can you do? What, you know, can you do this? Can you do that? And it's an opportunity, I think, for Everton and for some of the players to really put markers down. Last 9 games, there's been no draws. We've won 4, they've won 5. So that only our 2nd ever competitive match in July. What was the other one? You'll get it.
Rosenberg.
Yeah. Everton unbeaten in the last 8 games. Leicester have failed to score in 4 of the last 6. Haven't only failed to score in 3 of the first 25 games.
Really,
but a lot of teams have...
I really we shouldn't have mentioned that.
Well, I'm just giving fact. A lot of teams have done this. We've only scored 1 in our 2 games back. It is. It's low scoring because people aren't as sharp as what they... And I hope their sharpness relaxes till Saturday. They can be sharp as they want at the weekend. Everton are still the only team in the Premier League without a penalty this season.
Not a shock.
Which is, we've gone 38 games since we last won a penalty, which was against Chelsea in March 2019. And that's the longest run we've ever, equals the longest run we've ever had in the competition, which was 38 in 2008, which ended, I think, with a Leighton Baines penalty against Newcastle. I think we won 2-0 at home and he scored the penalty. We hadn't had one all season. I think Yak scored the other one. Or it might have been 3-1, we won the game. Everton have scored 61% of our Premier League goals in the opening 45 minutes of the season, of games this season. However, only Liverpool and Sheffield United have conceded fewer in the first half than Leicester. Leicester only have 14 in that. Leicester's Jamie Vardy has been involved in 8 goals in his last 9 games against Everton, scoring 6 and assisting 2. Excluding penalties, Everton's Dominic Calvert-Lewin is the highest expected goals figure in the Premier League this season. Since the season restarted, Calvert-Lewin has had 45% of Everton's shots, including 7 of their 12 in their last match. He had 7 shots against Norwich. That's a big, I mean, so, you know, when you talk about games and stuff, but things like Calvert-Lewin, that's one of the things I've noticed since we come back as well, is willingness to have more shots. It's something he never ever did, and this is something you see with Vardy, actually, as he's got progressed in the Premier League. Don't forget the first Premier League season when they come back up, he only scored 7 goals, and they were talking about getting rid of him. And then the next season, obviously, he was incredible, and he's been amazing since. And he's someone who has a lot of shots, and it's right for a striker, isn't it? It's how you score the goals. So that's one of the aspects I've been pleased with Dom since we returned, is his willingness to have a go. And he should have bagged a couple of goals already. You know, that's opportunity, half chance against Liverpool with the diving header at the far post and the back heel. And then Norwich last week, we saw the header off the Iwobi cross. He should have hit the target. The other one's okay, you know, he's having shots from 25 yards, but no, this will be a tough game, but it's a game that we go into, and I think we can beat them. I do. We'll have to be at our best, but I think we can beat them.
I think we just got to be. I think we just need to be a little bit sharper. And what I would say is I don't think we'll get away with some of the mistakes we made against Norwich. I think if they're breaking on us with speed, I don't think we'll get away with that.
That's one thing they do really well, the counter-attacking. They do. And whether Maddison doesn't look like he's going to play, but in Albrighton, who's like a bit of a journeyman, but he's a good, you know what you're getting off him. They've got Harvey Barnes, who's good at running at you at pace. Tielemans from midfield. And that's the one worry with me with this game, is our midfield area, because obviously Gomez will be good on the ball and switching the play and all that, but who do we put in there to compete? You know, they've got Ndidi, who I think is brilliant for them. He's a monster. You know, whether they'll put probably Dennis the Priors in there, who's good on the ball, but who do we put in? Who would you go for? Tom Davies lasted 45 minutes against Norwich. Is it Sigurdsson in there and try to keep the ball a bit?
It's a difficult one, because I think Sigurdsson, the pace of the game actually suits him at the moment. Said that a few times. Delph, I've seen no
I don't even think he's fit.
If he's available. And then it's either Tom Davies, or then you go, well, if they're going to have loads of energy, what about Benny Bingham? And you're thinking, but he hasn't even played. He's never...
You'd have to almost change the way we play, wouldn't you? They'll play a 4-1-4-1, which is what they play. We'd have to maybe then go to like a 4-4-3-3 with Bingham. But not that I don't think he can play that defensive role on his own, but if you're trying to protect them a little bit, what do you put? It's tough, isn't it? Does
Yerry Mina being back give an opportunity to put Mason Holgate in the midfield?
I mean, that's something that's worth considering, certainly for this game, because they are athletic and you do need to compete in there. Because if you play Sigurdsson, I think then you'd have to be a bit more direct. You'd have to say to your wide players, like, we're going to be knocking things long. Maybe Anthony Gordon will come in back on the left instead of Bernard for height-wise and stuff, because you've got to try to... They had James Justin at right back, and he's not Pereira's level at all. You've got to make sure on the right-hand side that Iwobi occupies Ben Chilwell, because he is someone they use a lot. So, going to be a lot of interesting areas.
Interesting.
It's a tough game.
No, I'm
Tough
expecting
game.
a very tough game. I'm expecting every game over the next few weeks to be very tough. Because of not just because of the opposition, but because of how many games we've got and stuff. So there you go. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Are you expecting a tough game? Are you expecting Leicester to come to Goodison Park and make it 3 wins in a row, or expecting Everton to get themselves up there into competition for the Europa League places? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to download the OneFootball app. The link is in the description, so make sure you do that. Give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and you want more great videos, including live daily videos. Join us over on Patreon. The link is also in the description. Thank you for watching. See you later.